When you think about patient care, there's intensive monitoring when someone is in the hospital, continuous ECG recording, daily weights, frequent blood pressures. There's gradual improvement biologically, but then the next day, they're out of the hospital and all the monitoring is just stopped. So the thought is, why not continue some of that monitoring as someone transitions from being in the hospital to out of the hospital?
In spring of 2013, I had my annual heart checkup here, and while they were doing an EKG, they found my heart was in atrial fibrillation. They asked me if I wanted to go through a cardioversion and get my heart back in a sinus rhythm, and I said yes. And during the process of the cardioversion, they asked me if I wanted to be part of this experimental piece, and I said sure.
Well, we're developing a system to measure potassium using what we sometimes refer to as a bloodless blood test. All other methods of measuring potassium in the blood require access to blood. Potassium is something that can cause the heart to beat irregularly or to stop if it's not maintained at appropriate levels in the blood. And in people with various illnesses, especially heart disease and kidney disease, the potassium can become either too high or too low and cause heart problems, including sudden death.
As potassium levels increase, we may not have any signs or symptoms until dangerous events, heart rhythm problems develop. But if we know what my ECG looks like at a given level of potassium, we can then determine if it has a small change, what the change in potassium is to give rise to that ECG change. So in effect, without poking someone for blood, we can determine what changes are happening. These experiments are still in their early stages. We have done them in patients. We've used the platform more broadly to detect other arrhythmias, but our goal is to facilitate the transition of care as someone leaves the hospital, to not only to be able to record arrhythmias and blood pressure from home as we do now, but to also be able to get potassium and hopefully someday other blood test information painlessly and frequently to enhance care, adjust medications accordingly, and so on.
They've been taught what things to eat and not to eat, but they otherwise have no way to know what their potassium is doing. So this is a group of patients where it would be very useful to have some sort of home monitoring of potassium. This is applicable to much larger patient populations.
So the goal is, if we can measure these things reliably, safely, frequently, we can more effectively administer medicines that we know tend to save lives and improve heart function while controlling the risks.
It was about 2 weeks after I was in the process, I got a call from the people here at Mayo saying that the monitor showed that my heart went back into atrial fibrillation. It was really helpful for me, obviously, and they were able then to treat my atrial fibrillation with some more medication.
Minnesota is a great spot to invest in innovation in medical-related research for a number of reasons. We have deep roots. There's a combination of innovation both in devices and also in what I'll call health IT, which combines what have been traditional social media, IT, software programming technology, computer technology with health, which in a way is what our platform does. It takes technology from a wearable device, uses a cell phone to transmit it to a HIPAA-compliant server, then does advanced digital signal processing. And I think it's a very exciting area, and I think Minnesota has the infrastructure, talent, and resources to promote success of people investing in that space here.